In the frozen expanse of the Antarctic, where the sky seems to merge with the ice and the winds howl like the whispers of forgotten souls, there exists a legend among the penguins. It is a tale of love that surpasses time, sacrifice, and the most extreme cold, a story passed down from one generation to the next. This is the story of one brave penguin, a journey of unimaginable devotion and courage, where love became the only flame that could keep him warm. There was once a young penguin named Oren. He wasn't the biggest or the fastest of the colony, nor did he have the brightest feathers, but he had something that set him apart, an unwavering heart. Oren lived on the coast where the ocean met the ice, and every day he would watch the waves crash against the shore, his eyes always drawn to the horizon, to a distant mountain range beyond the glaciers. It was on a day like any other that he saw her for the first time. Her name was Sarah, a penguin from a faraway colony, one that lived deep within the icy mountains. When Oren saw her, it felt like the universe had paused. Her eyes shone with an inner light, and her presence was calm, yet powerful. They exchanged a brief glance, one that seemed to say everything without a word. But then, just as quickly as she had appeared, Sarah was gone, her colony retreating back into the cold, leaving Oren with nothing but a deep, unshakable feeling of longing. For the first time, he knew what it was to ache with desire, to feel an emptiness that only one thing could fill. That night, Oren couldn't sleep. He lay awake under the glittering stars, thoughts of Sarah swirling in his mind. The next morning, as the sun broke through the endless expanse of snow, he made a decision that would change his life forever. He would find her. No matter the cost, he would brave the mountains, face the biting cold, and endure the solitude if it meant he could be with her. So, Oren began his journey. The days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months. Oren's journey was long and grueling, every step a test of his will. The mountain ranges he crossed were treacherous, sharp cliffs, deep crevasses, and bitter winds that cut through his feathers. The ice beneath his feet was never stable, and many times he slipped, tumbling down into snowdrifts that seemed endless. But with every fall, Oren would rise again, determination burning in his chest like an eternal flame. He met other animals along the way, some friendly, some indifferent, but none who could understand his mission. They would warn him, caution him to turn back. The mountains are unforgiving, they would say. You'll never survive the journey. But Oren's heart was stronger than any warning. I must find her, he would say, his voice unwavering. And so the journey continued as Oren pushed himself harder each day. There were times when the cold felt like it could freeze his very soul, when exhaustion threatened to consume him. His body grew weaker, his feathers brittle from the freezing winds. But through it all, one thought kept him going: Sarah. One bitter evening, after days of relentless snowstorms and almost no food, Oren reached the summit of the mountains. The snow was falling heavier now, swirling around him like an endless blizzard. But at that moment, something in the distance caught his eye, a silhouette standing against the pale horizon. It was her, Sarah. His heart raced, his legs shaking with both exhaustion and joy. She stood on the edge of a cliff, gazing out over the endless sea of snow, her back turned to him. Oren called out to her, his voice hoarse from the cold, from the miles of silence he had endured alone. "Sarah!" he cried, but the wind stole his words.
she turned. Time seemed to stop. Oren felt as though his whole journey had led to this single moment, the moment he could see her again, the moment his sacrifice would finally be worth it. Sarah's eyes locked onto his, and a smile spread across her face, a smile that told him everything. You made it. But the reunion was not as sweet as he had imagined. As Oren limped closer, he saw the sorrow in her eyes. Her once bright gaze was shadowed by something deeper. "Sarah, I came for you," Oren said, his voice trembling with emotion. "I know, but I can't stay. The colony I once called home is gone. We were forced to leave. We are the last of our kind." The wind howled, as though the very mountains mourned the loss of something precious. Oren felt his heart break. He had come so far, endured so much, only to find that the love he had dreamed of was fleeting, lost in the vast, unforgiving landscape. Yet in that moment of despair, Sarah took a step forward, her wings reaching out toward him.
"Oren," she said softly, "your love, it has brought me here. In this cold, in this endless world of snow, I thought I was alone. But you, your journey, has shown me that love is stronger than the mountains, stronger than the storm." She wrapped her wings around him, and for the first time in months, Oren felt warmth, not from the sun, but from the bond they shared. They didn't stay on the mountain for long. Together they journeyed back toward the coast, where they found a new colony, a place to start fresh. Their love, forged through sacrifice, became the stuff of legend. The penguins who heard their story spoke of the strength of Oren's heart, of how he endured the unthinkable to find the one he loved. And so the tale of Oren and Sarah lives on, a reminder to all who hear it that love is not just a feeling, it is a force of nature, something that can drive you through the coldest nights and the harshest storms. It is a beacon, a light that can guide you even when the world feels lost. Because when you love someone truly and deeply, no mountain is too high, no journey too long, and no cold too bitter. All you need is the strength to keep going, and the courage to believe that love, even in the harshest of places, will always find a way. As the winds of the Antarctic continue to howl across the frozen land, the legend of the penguin who waited, who suffered, and who loved still echoes through the ages. And somewhere out there, on the coldest mountains of the world, Oren and Sarah are together, watching the sun rise once more, forever united in the warmth of a love that never fades.
Thank you for watching video. Please like and subscribe this channel.